Caller from the 310. Peace.
Peace, my brother.
Peace, peace.
How are you?
All is well. Let the people know who they're listening to.
This is brother Ahmed Rashid. Damn, yeah. What you knew, please? You knew? Yo, you see all that skeeter out in the Middle East? These people are something else, boy. They playing 4 games of chess at the same time. You heard?
I'm saying, who in the West, could you speak about, the particular climate of what's going on over there in terms of, how people are receiving this information about radiation and wars abroad and what have you?
The people is not thinking about that, my brother. The people is not thinking about that. The Mexicans are shooting people in the street. So, I'm sitting here with a brother just got shot the other day by the Mexicans in the street. You heard? They tripping. A little brother just came in here, just came home from the penitentiary. Niggas is in the penitentiary mobbing on each other. He got to fight 9 people from different sets. They all black. Meanwhile, they killing people in the street. So the people is not worrying about nothing about no radiation, no aliens, UFOs, nothing. Even if it's real, the immediate thing in their face, is niggas mobbing on them. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And if you even try to bring up a dialogue about radiation and the water, people was like, all right, well, I'll think about that after I come back from the funeral, or I come back from the hospital dealing with my with this immediate issue right here. So the
battle for L.A. is actually a brown and a black one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Not a green one.
LA, yeah, it's crazy. It's because what happens is the Mexicans have fell victim to becoming niggers. Yeah. And the way that they have fell victim is that they have adopted a culture of self-hatred. You heard? And it's evident in the generation gap. When you check out the social topography and the cultural anthropology involved, you got a whole next generation of Mexicans who are jerk dancing, riding skateboards, that don't really speak that much Spanish as much as they speak English, and they resonating off of that blueprint, that NWA blueprint. It's like a Mexican WA.
Oh, I'm saying, how was the loss of Nate Dogg being felt out there?
People, it's a mixed thing to me. To be honest, I was sitting around some queens, and some queens was like, hey, them niggas been banging on women so hard on music. Nate Dogg dying is not as big as the radiation. We back at the radiation topic. You know what I mean? So Nate Dogg been banging on, no disrespect to him, you know what I mean? But every song them dudes came out, it's like bitch this, bitch that. He's an expert in that. And even in his personal life, he would go upside a sister's head. So, you know what I mean? People ain't checking for that. People's minds change it anyway, you know what I mean? So it's like people out here are different in that they're not lost in the source of ideology and philosophy that always comes at the point of change in the social upheaval. From my study of sociology even came out because of the Industrial Revolution. So the study of systems and how people interact is something new that's according to a dialogue that deals with finance. So as the way that the world generates funds now through via the internet, it's a game of imaging right now. So it's like whoever has the better image at the end of the day is winning because it's all fake anyway. So they got everybody imaged and poised to fear through film, through Gaddafi, through all of that stuff. It's all chess. You know what I mean? And at the end of the game, we all checkmated because everybody broke. You understand what I'm saying? You know? And then the people that do have money are not into philanthropy. You heard? So it's not a religious practice. It's not cultural to share. You know what I'm saying? When we see the other cultures, they have allocated funds for even the tools in the toolbox that's not even the sharpest. They got a bankroll for them. So they just be born. They could be Riri and just be born into a few dollars. Us, we brilliant, smart. Niggas could jump out the gym. We could do everything. You heard? But niggas ain't going to give you a few dollars. You heard? Niggas don't usually give their family nothing. So it don't have nothing to do with the quality of information we're giving out. You know what I mean? We're just still suffering from a financial, you know, burden. But the point of the show, right, is the fact that we have an invested interest in what we're doing. And anybody that's teaching that has children has an invested interest within the future so that your children don't look at us or all of us as weirdos in the future with these weird doctrines and everybody just making up stuff from the hip. We feel a need to bring people back home to understand why we are even having a metaphysical dialogue. Because the people who are against metaphysics are standing in the stead of the great metaphysicians. You heard? So the work of Delbert Blair, the work of Bobby Hemmett, the work of Reverend Valentine has set up a new dialogue that ran concurrent and with the historical dialogue. Now, what happens is people who don't understand the metaphysical dialogue and are enraptured in a false sense of security in history and a non-applicable ability to applicate history based off of their bourgeoisie scholarship. You know, they went to school. The school armchair revolution overcame the street one, but the revolution is in the metaphysical dialogue because we're teaching with metaphysics how to think. So the only way that you can actually have power is if you have a definition for all of your thought processes, its behaviors, and the behaviors of others in a synergy, a language that transcends the dialogue of the oppressor. You understand? So the oppressor knows more history than you and I put together. That's why he makes games with it, but he doesn't have an African mind. He don't have an African mind to have a dialogue that integrates everything. So we are at a very blessed period to have somebody like Reverend Valentine, Brother Bobby Hemmett, Dr. Blair, and all others who are walking in their steed. Everybody that's talking right now that has had a 2, 3, 4 year success of getting people's attention, people hitting them up on the internet, people inviting them out to speak, all of that comes from Reverend Valentine and them sitting in front of rooms of people that ain't know what the hell they was talking about 25 years ago and still steady in the race. I'm going to still talk to these Negroes. Now, his dialogue is in popular culture. Their dialogue is in popular culture. They're making money off of it, and everybody is still pointing fingers at the leaders, all these newcomers with their weird sciences, their fake scholarship, their, all these poorly composed fucking doctrines and all of this bullshit. You heard? People are forgetting the true strand and roots of what we do. See, I am authenticated because I started my journey before I even entered into the street. And my first presentation was accredited because my teacher opened up for me. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't come out of the ethers with a science with 2 or 3. I was tried, tested, and I met my teacher before I even touched down. You heard? And showed him and demonstrated in my poise and my ability to present the information. You understand? So, no slight to nobody new, but let's fix up how we are presenting the information, clean up how we are presenting the DVDs. I go all over the country. I see DVDs all over the country. People are just disrespecting everybody. I see all these vendors in these stores. The people who buy the stuff, it's not even asking the people that they buy it from, are you an authentic dealer of this stuff? Because I buy this stuff from you. Is the person who's presenting this information getting any proceeds whatsoever? You heard? People are not having that question. It's like even the customers are selfish. Everybody want a 5-second fast food introduction to people's 30 and 40 years of sacrifice and study. You understand?
I think that's been, that was a beautiful segue for me to actually do what everybody's anticipating tonight, and that is bring in good doctor.
Excellent.
With no further ado, calling from 386-960. Peace.
What's up, family?
Peace.
Yeah, peace. All my young princes out there.
Peace.
Hey, listen, Rashid, I'm blown away. Proud of you. Your articulation, your insight, and your ability to articulate the nuances of the arguments that we've been torching. It feels good with you brothers on the helm now. Red, you, and all the other younger brothers. It feels good to let go of the torch now, because a couple of times some people have been grabbing it, and we didn't really let it go. We've been holding on to the tip of it. Now it feels good to open up the hands and know that it's in good hands. And based on how you articulated what it is you said, in the way that the young minds could actually get it, it's good to hear it. And again, all you brothers out there doing the work like that does me proud and makes me know it's all right for me to let go and just sit back and become a consigliere again, like Michael took over after Pops said, okay, it's time for me to take over.
No question. But Rev, I appreciate that. We built for it. We built for it. I'm telling you, we got a lot in store for the family. You feel me? And I'm not doing it by myself, and I have already distinguished myself responsibly and told people from the door that my information is far more intellectual, beautiful than who I am as an individual in my experience. So I didn't even come in the game bluffing and playing with people. I didn't float in none of my lectures. I didn't pull no Houdini tricks, and I ain't come out of nothing on the people. I just give it up how I got it. And I appreciate you for even validating me. You understand? You beyond like a father figure. You heard? And I've seen your work give fortitude and integrity to black men in my environment and my experience. You heard? They begged me to leave my Valentine tapes in the prison before I left. I couldn't take them home. They wasn't letting me leave with those. You understand? Mm-hmm. So a lot of brothers have been fortified with the info, and it's getting closer to where it needs to be. It's not going to be anything in the hands of the quote-unquote Negro that went to school and think he's smart. He can't do nothing with it. The consciousness movement itself is something that is purely from the streets. Everybody that benefited from it, all the original people. Malcolm was a street person. George Jackson was a street person. George single-handedly was the field marshal for the whole Black Panther Party. George was street. They were addressing things that were directly in their face. Now imagine if their doctrine had transcended as all doctrines do, and because George was beginning to have a metaphysical dialogue in his revolutionary writing when he said, I would like to control the circumstances surrounding my existence. That was my first introduction to transcendental existence. And then what inaugurated me into his doctrine was the fact that I had overcame, at the age of 23 or 24, I have officially overcame a fear of white male superiority. It was as a result of reading his literature. In a prison cell, it got me so angry that I said, why the fuck have I been afraid to actualize my own genius at the expense of fearing that it would be shot down? Fuck that. I said I'm going to die how George died, with my boots on. You feel me? Mm-hmm. With integrity, my way. You feel me? So then when I got your doctrine, but everything comes